How are we doing, guys? Welcome to the Ninja Guide video for Hystria. Today we are going to be going to all the different rooms in Hystria that are worth clearing and show you how I clear them on my ninja to help you guys out for when it's your turn to get into Hystria. But before you do, you will have to be a minimum of level 61 to clear Hystria efficiently. And I would recommend trying to push for 62, which I am doing at the moment. I'm only 33% away, so getting pretty close. But if you can hit 62, that is going to help you out a lot. But there is a lot more elixirs that you can use, and I would recommend using that I don't have on me because I don't need them. If you want to know what those elixirs are, if you want to know more information about exactly the minimum number of skill points you need and the skills you need to use and the rotation skills on using them, a breakdown of that to help you guys master the muscle memory, please watch the first half of the Ninja Archman's Guide, because all that information is in there. The only difference between the skill rotation from Archman's to Hystria is instead of opening with Vengeful Barrier, you will be opening with Chaos Spree to group up the mobs. Now we got that out of the way. In terms of gear requirements, again, you're going to need full tech boss gear. I would recommend the dim tree over the red nose if you can get your hands on one of those. Beg's gloves is a must. For the helmet, it doesn't matter if it's a Griffin or a Gaiath helmet. You could also go with Pen Heave or Pen Gruntle, that would be better for the helmet slot. For boots, for PvE specifically, Tet Uragons is better, but for Ninja generally, Muskins does scale better with Ninja because of his passive evasion buffs and smokescreen evasion buffs that works on percentages that he gets. So that is up to you what you want to use. And then you will need to be 261 AP with Nuva to enter Hystria. So it is a very high AP requirement for ninjas to be grinding Hystria. And obviously you'll be sticking with the Nuva until you hit 261 AP with Kurum. So for me, I would need 3 more AP, which is basically I have to get 2 Tet Tungrad earrings before I would hit 261 Kurum. Because this is also important, you need to be 261 in both your awakening and your pre-awakening. So your AAP and your AP. This is very important because a lot of your damage does come from your pre-awakening as well. You can't just rely on your awakening doing all the work. So once you have all those, let's show you all the different rooms and how to clear them. So up here is a safe spot that you can use to start buffing yourself up. And once you are fully buffed, we will start with the side rotation. From side rotation, we'll show you main rotation, then the 5 Elton rotation, and then we'll go on the other side of Hystria to show the remaining rotations. And then once you are fully buffed, I will show you guys how I clear side rotation. So we'll start over here, do a blade spin, make sure you grab all the testicles. If you miss one, use your malice to grab the aggro. Get the aggro of the Kalkisha on the other side of the Elton, bring them all on one side, and then do the rotation as we've shown you in the Archman's video. And then once you've got these guys cleared out, we're going to move on to the next mob. We're going to do a Beheading of the Dead right here. Come over here, make sure you grab the aggro of these mobs on this side, bring them back onto this side of this 2-car, the Bolton, and then do the rotation as we've seen before. And then for this next mob over here, do a blade spin on the left to grab the aggro of the Tanko. Use your malice to grab the aggro of all the testicles over there. And then come on this side and do the rotation as we've gone through on the Arkman's video again. And then once these guys are all cleared out, you are going to come over here and do a beheading of the dead to grab aggro of everything in that corner. Bring them all by the Bolton. And then clear these guys just like you have been doing with all the other mobs. If you get stuck, just use your ninja step. Sometimes when you do the block jump, you end up going in the middle of the mobs. As you get a bit stuck, you'll have to use ninja step to get back out. Or you can do silent charge, or silent step, sorry, to get out. Let me just make sure. Sorry, silent charge to get out, not silent step. And then once those guys are cleared, come over here. Use beheading of the dead. Make sure you got everything aggroed. Come down to the Vodkin. And then do your rotation again. You guys should definitely have your fairy on. I don't have mine on, which is probably a mistake. So I used my E-buff there to heal. I'd recommend if you're a bit new down here, save your E-buff to heal yourself. But once you get comfortable, you can definitely use the E-buff to help you clear a bit faster. And then after this mob here, there's two choices. You can either go back to the start of your clear and rinse and repeat until you're happy. Or if you over clear, you'll come over here and grab the aggro of all these guys. And this will be your extended rotation. So if you over clear, you'll have to come do the extended rotation over here for the side rotation. And then once they're cleared, again, you will just start from the top. You'll clear these guys out over here, aggro them like so, and then bring them to the other side of the Elton. One thing I would recommend is use your rage buff right here. So when you got your 100%, absorb your rage here so you can do rage buff for this mob and the next mob, as the next mob is the hardest pull inside. But now we're going to show you main rotation. So just up here is a safe spot. So if you ever want to relax, go get a drink, take a little break, you can definitely stand up here. But then once you're ready, we will show you the main rotation. So we'll start off beheading of the dead over here. Use your malice to grab the aggro of those guys. You can switch the revert roles as well. You can malice the first group and behead the second group. Completely up to you. But you bring them behind this Elton. And again, just rinse and repeat the rotation. This Vodkin's being a little bit annoying with where he's standing. And then once these guys are cleared, you're going to come up over here. Make sure you grab the aggro of that Kalkisha, and then come down here, grab the aggro of that Kalkisha, and then you have to aggro them all back up to this corner. So if you look here, we've got a really nice density of Kalkishas with even a couple of Vodkins in there as well. So definitely pull this mob this way over here. I did make a little mistake in my Wizard Hystria guide. I pulled this section slightly differently. So I apologize if you did watch that. You should definitely be clearing like this instead. And then once those guys are cleared out, you'll come over here. Beheading those guys, and again, just do your rotation over here. So use the E-buff if you get in trouble. And then once those guys are cleared out, beheading when you come out the door, bring them behind this Elton, and rinse and repeat your rotation. You can rage wherever you want here. There's no ideal rage spot that will maximize your pull, your clear speed. So whenever it's off cooldown, just activate your rage. And then once those guys are cleared, grab the aggro of these dudes, bring them down here, and rinse and repeat your rotation. And then once they're cleared, you want to be a bit more to the right when you do your beheading. That was a mistake for me, but like I said, just activate your rage on cooldown. And then from this section here, you got two choices in terms of your next mob. So let's clear these guys. I'll show you guys the extended version, but if you don't need the extended version, you'll skip this next mob that I'm about to show you and go straight up to the mob directly after.
I want a straw. I want real human moments. I want to see you. I want you to see me.
So this right here is the extended version. You want to beheading these guys. Grab the aggro of that guy over there. And clear like so. So if you don't want to do the extended rotation, you will go straight up to this mob over here. Beheading. Oh, that didn't work out. I don't know why those didn't connect right there. But you'd normally malice those dudes. You'll bring him to this Bolton over here. And rinse and repeat your rotation as normal. And then once he's cleared out, you're back to the beginning of the rotation. Again, you can rotate your malice and beheading any way you like. Just make sure you get all the mobs tagged and aggroed so you can clear them like so. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the 5 Elton rotation, and we'll start off in side rotation. So this is a bit of a greedy rotation, which I've already said in my wizard video, but Try and pick a server where no one's really grinding in. I wouldn't recommend doing this on Arsha because it is getting pretty crowded on Arsha at the minute. But we will start our 5 Elton right here inside. So you'll come down here, do your beheading, grab the aggro of those guys there. Try not to get CC'd and come to this side of the Elton and do your clear. And then once that guy's cleared, you're going to come to this mob, beheading, make sure you grab the aggro of these 2 guys, come to this side of the Bolton down here and do your rotation again. We got CC'd there, but we're back in control. Taking a bit of damage there, so I'm going to E-buff to get my health back. And then once those guys are cleared out, come to these ones, use your beheading. Stay on top of your elixirs as well, don't forget those. So I've taken a bit of damage here, so I'm playing a bit more safe. So I'd recommend you guys do the same. You'll see me moving around and not doing the combo like I've been showing you, just to make sure I don't get CC'd and taken out. And once you cleared those 3 mobs inside for the 5 Elton, you're going to come back to main rotation. Make sure you grab all the aggro. And then clear them like you have been. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm used to clearing on my wizard down here, so sometimes I get the button presses completely wrong. But anyway, back to clearing the way you're meant to. So after this mob, what you are meant to do is cut out and go to the Elton that's directly in front of me right now, that guy over there. But I'm going to do something slightly different, and it's up to you whether or not you want to clear the regular way for the Elton rotation, or if you want to do the way I like to clear it. So instead of going to this Elton here, I really like the density of vodkans that you can get from this pool from the main rotation. So I will come down here, grab the aggro of these guys, and clear them out, because, I mean, this is just a lot of Kalkishas. A couple of vodkans as well, so I reckon it's worth clearing this mob. But if you want to do the regular method, 5 Elton method, then you wouldn't come here, you go straight to the next Elton. So you'd come straight over here instead. Grab the aggro of all those guys. And then rinse and repeat your rotation. So for the next pool, you're gonna just use a little trick. You're gonna come on this side, You want to make sure to aggro all the Kalkishas. So now we've got the maximum number of Kalkishas pulled. You are again going to go back to doing rinse, repeating your rotation. We don't want to split this into 2 pulls because we want to get back into the 5 Elton, the side rotation of the 5 Elton rotation as soon as possible. So we're just grabbing all the VIP mobs and skipping out a lot of these testicles because they honestly aren't that good. And then again, you're going to grab the aggro of these guys over here and clear them like so. And then once these are cleared, you're going to go back to the beginning of your rotation right here. And that is the 5 Elton rotation, side rotation, and main rotation. The other rotations on the other side of Hystria. So I'm just going to escape to go back to the node manager, and I'll show you how to get there from the node manager. Right, so now that we're back at the node manager, I will show you guys how to get to the other side of Hystria. Okay, so this is going to be the first mob, the first rotation we're going to start with on this side of Hystria, the new area of Hystria. Honestly not sure what this first rotation I'm going to show you is called, but it's got 3 Eltons in it and it's a very, very good rotation. So let's get started. You're going to grab the aggro of those 2 Kalkishas and bring everything to the Spelton down here and clear them as usual. And then once those guys are cleared, you're going to come over here, grab the aggro of these guys, bring them behind this Elton, and then do your rotation as normal again. I would recommend raging because this is the 2 Eltons back to back right next to each other. I wouldn't recommend using your rage and buff at the same time, but it doesn't. That's if you want to be efficient. I'm not too bothered. So once those guys are cleared, blade spin right between the 2 sets of testicles right there. Get behind the Elton and do your rotation again. And then once those are cleared, beheading these guys, fox claw these guys, get behind the watchtower, and clear these guys like so. And then once you've got these cleared out, there's 2 different ways to aggro in the next section. I'm going to show you the regular way. So you'll grab the aggro of that Kalkisha, get the aggro of everything over here, get behind the Elton, and do your rotation. Unfortunately, one of the Kalkishas took a long time to catch up to us there, so we're just going to ignore him. Not worth the time it is to kill that guy. Make sure you grab the aggro of the Tankos, and then clear this mob right here. So I need a little bit of healing, so I'm going to use my healing move on these guys. Then use my other healing move on these guys. Do some Foxclaw healing. And then I'm basically just starting the rotation there without Chaos Spree, because obviously it's on cooldown. And then once those guys are cleared, that's how you clear this rotation here. Now I'm going to skip past and show you how to use the extended version of the rotation which I was talking about earlier, but we're just going to have to wait for these guys to respawn and clear them out. So give me a second and I'll be back. So once everything has respawned, now you're going to come over here, do your beheading to aggro those mobs. Make sure you got these guys aggroed, and then you're going to come back behind the Elton over here. You want to stick as close to these two cards as you can, because they don't have a very high aggro radius. And if you go too far away towards on the other side of the Elton, they're going to just de-aggro. But this is how you would clear them if you were over clearing. You'd have to split this mob into two, get the extra pulls, and then you'd come up over here, grab some extra mobs that you didn't used to grab before, clear them like so. And then once these guys are cleared out, you're back at the Tanko section, and then that's this rotation done. So now I'm going to show you guys the Black Shard rotation. This one's got a lot of Kalkishas in it, so it's got a high chance of dropping you Black Shards. Right, so we're going to start with this top mob up here for the Black Shard rotation. Make sure you aggro those guys over there, these guys over here. And then you want to get to one side of the mobs like so. Just keep manipulating the mobs until you get them nice and balled up. Get on one side and start your rotation. And then once these guys are cleared out, beheading of the dead down here to aggro as many mobs as you can. Somehow we didn't aggro the Elton, which I don't even know how it's possible, but usually the Elton's meant to be aggroed here, so we're going to spend a little bit extra time this time clearing out the Elton, because an Elton is like one of the most important things you want to kill. It's the hardest compass part to get is from the Elton. And on top of that, it also has the best chance of dropping in Tongrad Neck compared to the other mobs that can drop it. So Elton, Tanko, and Vodkins can all drop Tongrad necklaces. So once we got these guys finished off, we'll come get the aggro of these guys here. Pull them back. Get them nice and balled up. See, I delayed my block jump to make sure they all looked in the same direction there. That ensured I was getting all back attacks to clear them as quickly as efficiently as possible. Once we've got these guys all grouped up, we will continue doing our rotation. going to get behind this Kalkisha. You want to make sure to get on one side of the mob so you can really get the full potential and clear everything roughly at the same time. One of the Kalkishas just tried to reset there because he pulled him too far to the left. So we're going to ignore this guy, and then you can go back from the beginning if you don't clear fast enough. If you end up over clearing, the way you would extend the rotation is by coming over here, grabbing the aggro of these guys, bringing them back behind this Bolton, and then clearing them in this doorway right here. Right, and then that is how you do the black shard rotation. And now the final rotation I'm going to show you has a minimum of 7 Eltons in it and a minimum of 5 Eltons in it and a maximum of 7 Eltons, depending on how far you need to extend it. So we'll get into that one in just a moment. Okay, so we are going to start in this tunnel right here, come over to our first pool, which is the hardest pool in the room. Trick is, stand between this Demo and this Elton to get those two Kalkishas to aggro to you, but don't actually use any abilities to aggro here. And then you can just block in this corner until these two Eltons group up, and then once they do, you're going to get behind the Eltons and do your rotation. And then once these guys are cleared out, you're gonna come right here, aggro these guys like so. Then once these guys are cleared out, we're going to go to the next Elton, do a blade spin up here to aggro all the mobs that we can. Just be rage buffing on cooldown. Stay on top of your elixirs.
Hey yo, what's up, let's keep it real, son.
And then once you have them cleared out, you'll be coming up here, rinse and repeat. And then again, when these guys are cleared out, we'll be coming to this Elton down here. I'm going to be e-buffing because I'm taking a bit too much damage. So if you don't overclear, you will just start back again with this group and rinse and repeat. If you do overclear a little bit, you'll do extension number 1, which is the one I'm about to show you now. This is all I need to do for my Ninja. I don't need to do the second extension, but I do need to do the first one. Now I got to be careful. Taking a lot of damage, and I don't have my fairies on. So as you can see, I'm just kind of dancing around them. And now that I've got them cleared out, normally you just go back and you'd start from the top. But if you have a lot of AP, or if you just can clear faster than I can, you'll need the second part of the extension right here. So you'll be coming down to this Elton. So now this is your 7th Elton in the rotation, making it the 7 Elton rotation. I was accidentally pressed beheading there. I didn't actually want to do that because you normally use beheading to aggro the mobs. It's got a very good radius. But anyways, we will come over here to aggro these guys. Just got to wait for them to group up. Kind of takes a minute. We might as well kill this Bolton. Normally this Bolton doesn't get aggroed, so... But you basically grab as many mobs as you can, get them balled up, and then clear them. Try and obviously aggro more Kalkishas and Vodkans than any other mobs, because those are the ones you want to clear. But it's a bit of a pick and mix for this last bit here. It's whatever you can get your hands on. And then once you got them cleared out, you would go back to the very beginning of the rotation, through the tunnel, and start again. One thing I forgot to mention, you can actually fit your tent in this little passageway if you place it down just right. So it's a nice little place to pop your tent if you do need to do repairs or anything else of the sort. But that is the Hystria guide for Ninja. If you guys got any questions, if there's anything I missed out, anything you want to add, just leave it in the comment section down below. Guys, I hope this has been helpful. In terms of trash numbers for Hystria, what I can tell you is when I was at the 261 bracket with Loot Scroll, I was getting around 2.1k trash on my Ninja. I haven't actually tested with my current AP, the 269 bracket with Nuva. I haven't tested the kind of numbers I'll be pulling. I would imagine it'd be a minimum of 2.4 thousand trash. It can maybe go up to 2.5k, 2.6k, I'm not sure. But at the speeds that I've been looking at, if I was to optimize my pools, I think 2.4k trash is roughly where I'd end up at the 269 bracket. But anyway, I hope this has helped, guys. If you got any questions, like I said, leave them down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.